Taiwan says it convinced China to rein in no-fly zone plan. China records world's first human death from H3N8 bird flu. 13 phrases helps you have higher emotional intelligence. US TSA declares peanut butter a liquid. Taiwan's ruling party taps VP as presidential candidate. Italy adopts state of emergency over migrants. Rural children grow taller than city children in wealthy countries. Italy's ski industry fires cannon against climate change.
Hello, I'm Wade Lee. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It is Thursday, April 13th, and here are your top stories. Reuters reported Taiwan said on Wednesday it had successfully urged China to drastically narrow its plan to close airspace north of Taiwan, averting wider travel disruptions. South Korea, which was also briefed on the plans, said the decision was taken due to an object falling from a satellite launch vehicle. Beijing initially notified Taipei it would impose a no-fly zone from April 16 to 18th, but Taiwan's transport ministry said this was later reduced to a period of just 27 minutes on Sunday morning after it protested.
According to Reuters, Taiwan's transport ministry published a map showing what it labeled China's aerospace activity zone to the northeast of Taiwan and near a group of disputed islets called Diaoyu by China and Senkaku by Japan. That would be close to civilian aviation routes between Taiwan and China as well as between Taiwan and South Korea, among others. Citing a government source, Japan's Kyodo News Agency said China's no-fly zone included what Japan claims as its exclusive economic zone around the Senkakus.
The World Health Organization said a Chinese woman has become the first person to die from a type of bird flu that is rare in humans, but the strain does not appear to spread between people. The WHO said in a statement late on Tuesday that the 56-year-old woman from the southern province of Guangdong was the third person known to have been infected with the H3N8 avian influenza subtype. All of the cases have been in China, with the first two cases reported last year.
The WHO said the patient had multiple underlying conditions and a history of exposure to live poultry. Samples collected from a wet market visited by the woman before she became ill were positive for influenza A, H3, suggesting this may have been the source of infection. WHO said, based on available information, it appears that this virus does not have the ability to spread easily from person to person, and therefore the risk of it spreading among humans at the national, regional, and international levels is considered to be low.
Researchers have shown emotional intelligence can help you build and strengthen relationships, defuse conflicts, and improve overall job satisfaction. Psychology experts say that if you use these 13 phrases every day without even thinking about it, you have higher emotional intelligence than most people. Number 1 is, could you tell me more about that? Number 2, I hear you. Number 3, I understand what you're saying, but. These phrases are highlighted when dealing with difficult people and situations.
Coming in at 4 is, how do you feel about that? 5. I'm not sure what's wrong. Could you explain the problem? 6. What do you mean? This is different from asking a person to repeat something. 7. Great job. 8. You both have good points. Let's see how we can work together. 9. I'd love your input on this. 10. This situation makes me worried or confused. 11. I feel this way about. 12. I'm sorry. 13. Thank you. According to studies, common courtesy is, sadly, not that common these days. Please, thank you, and you're welcome are always appreciated.
It's common knowledge at this point that you can't take large liquids with you through airport security. But last month, when U.S. author and podcaster Patrick Neef tried to take peanut butter through airport security, his Jif Natural Creamy Peanut Butter was confiscated. U.S. TSA said that because peanut butter is considered to be spreadable, so it falls under the rule associated with liquids, gel, and aerosols. As such, TSA explained that its quantity is limited to 3.4 ounces in carry-on bags.
TSA said it frequently seeks to remind travelers, if you can spill it, spray it, spread it, pump it or pour it, then it's subject to the 3.4-ounce limitation. Find these surprising? Buckle up, as the rest of this list might be equally puzzling. First, when traveling, glow sticks must be stowed in checked luggage if the liquid inside the plastic container is greater than 3.4 ounces. Second, much like peanut butter, guacamole also falls under the liquids designation. Snow globes, certain exfoliators, and hummus is certainly a liquid.
your blessings with your heartaches too. It's so easy and so wonderful to know it's you.
学习，一切从今天开始。Funday 英语。
Taiwan's ruling Democratic Progressive Party on Wednesday nominated Vice President Lai Ching-te as its candidate in the 2024 presidential election, 2 days after China concluded large-scale war games around the self-governed nation. At a nominating event Wednesday, Lai said he would continue to assert Taiwan's right to international recognition while boosting its high-tech economy and promoting an efficient government. Lai, 63, has a master's degree in public health from Harvard University.
Has officially nominated Vice President William Lai as its candidate for the 2024 presidential elections.
The international media reported that Lai was born in a mining family on the coast of northern Taiwan just outside Taipei. His mother raised him and his 5 siblings alone after his father died when he was just 2 years old. He studied hard to become a doctor, in line with his mother's aspirations for him. He has served as a legislator, mayor of the southern city of Tainan and Taiwan's premier before challenging President Tsai Ing-wen for the party's presidential nomination in 2019.
Italy's cabinet on Tuesday announced a state of emergency on immigration following a sharp rise in flow across the Mediterranean, in a move aimed at better management of migrant arrivals and repatriation facilities. The Ministry for Sea and Civil Protection said the state of emergency will be backed by initial funding of €5 million and will last for 6 months. Italy's Civil Protection Minister said, "We are not solving the problem. The solution can only depend on responsible intervention by European Union."
The eastern port on the island of Sicily is preparing to welcome some 700 people who will be in need of care.
Following a deadly shipwreck off the southern Italian region of Calabria in late February, Italy's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni urged the European Union to do more to halt illegal immigration, as she toughened jail terms for human smugglers. On Monday, the Coast Guard led rescue operations involving 2 boats carrying a total of 1,200 people, with charity groups also joining efforts to save lives at sea. Interior Ministry data shows some 31,300 migrants have arrived in Italy so far in 2023.
A new international study finds that the growth and development benefits of children living in cities may have diminished in the past 3 decades. The study found the average height of urban children and adolescents aged 5 to 19 is now slightly shorter than that of their peer in rural areas in most countries, notably in wealthy countries such as the US, the UK, and France. However, researchers are still trying to tease apart exactly why this is happening.
These primary school children are getting ready for class.
Cities have long been associated with better health. The study analyzed the data of 71 million participants from 2,325 population studies conducted between 1990 and 2020 across 200 countries and territories. By 2020, however, while heights generally increased in children in both urban and rural areas, children in cities saw lower height gains in most countries. The researchers believe it is a kind of a warning sign for growing inequalities within cities.
Monte Simone, a popular ski resort in Italy's Apennine Mountains, invested €5 million in artificial snowmaking before the winter season in an attempt to stave off the impact of global warming. The money was largely wasted. The snow cannon proved useless because the water droplet they fire into the air needs freezing weather for them to fall to the ground as snow. And until mid-January, the temperature never fell below 0 Celsius. Some 90% of Italians' peace rely on artificial snow, compared with 70% in Austria, 50% in Switzerland, and 39% in France.
However, it raises obvious questions about the true pace of climate change and poses problems for businesses who prefer to keep things cold.
Rising temperatures threaten the skiing industry worldwide, but Italy, with its many relatively low-altitude resorts in the Apennines as well as the Alps, is particularly badly affected. The energy consumed by an ever-growing battery of snow cannons is also exorbitant. Geologist and conservationist Mario Taz says the power required to provide artificial snow to all Europe's alpine resorts would equal the annual consumption of 130,000 families of 4 people. The skiing industry faces a looming decision: resist or change.
Let's take a look at today's vocabulary from the news of the 13 phrases. Number 1, diffuse, 缓和,平息. Local police are trying to diffuse radical tension in the community. Number 2, emotional intelligence, 情商. This is an age when we boast of our emotional intelligence and we claim to feel each other's pain. Number 3, I hear you, 我懂你的意思. For example, you know I can't take it anymore, I want a divorce. Hey, I hear you, but calm down, let's talk about it. Number 4, highlight, 突出强调. The report highlights the major problem facing society today. And that's all for today. Be sure to tune into Funday News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm Wei Li, your host. I'll see you next time.